Hey there, my name is Joshua and I have half a degree in computer engineering. And in this video, I'm going to be building my first PC with a 4090 with my dad, who's an electronics assembler. Now, when it comes to instructions, we don't really understand much of instructions we read, so we basically figure things out by doing it, usually. So we'll find out if we can finish this PC and make it function by the end of it. Okay, so for my 4090 build, this is all the parts that I'm gonna use. It's of course the 4090. This is the motherboard that will suit 2 GB, 232 sticks of RAM, somewhere here. Yeah, right here. And this is the 9800X3D that shouldn't bottleneck with the 4090, and then 1000 power supply, as well as I used the other one that was 2 TB SSD on my laptop, but this one should suffice for now while my 4 TB one comes in. And this is the thermal paste that I need, and also a webcam mount. And this should socket into this. It's an AIO to cool CPU. And this is my computer case. And it seems to be there's already one fan in there, but that's what I should have gotten, more fans, because it seems there's only one fan in here. We could install 2 more fans. So there's one fan in here, one fan in here. That's what I forgot to get, packs of fans, but it'll be fine because we can install more fans later. But it's gonna need at least 3 fans here to make sure all of this stays cool. So I'm gonna need 2 more fans. But yeah. Alright, so we can get started with the motherboard, I guess. Now we get our 9800X3D CPU. I actually haven't even opened it yet. It just came in like yesterday. So the next part is the RAM. The next part we're installing is the SSD 2 TB. Josh from the future here. I just wanted to showcase how the motherboard works a bit. So as you can see, I've already socketed the CPU in this photo, but there are 3 slots for SSDs on the motherboard, in one in which I've already put the 2 TB, but later on when the 4 TB came in, I also socketed another SSD right here. Okay, so now the next step is putting this in here so we could actually get a good idea of how it'll all fit together and put the rest of the pieces. So apparently we found the screws inside of the back. Actually, it's a kind of pretty intuitive that it fits all together. So we found the screws here. Now we can put it inside. So we found out that this AIO right here is too big because it's a 340, not a 240 millimeter, meaning 340 just means 3 fans, and 3 fans doesn't work with my setup. So we're gonna have to wait till Sunday to install the CPU cooler, but everything else we can still do. So the next thing we're gonna install, so finally, the 4090. So now that the GPU is installed, we're doing the last part, and then we're just gonna connect all the cables. Since the AIO is not here yet, and it will arrive on Sunday, we'll install that when it gets here, but we can still install the rest of the parts now.
All right, Josh from near future here. As you can see from here, this is just a close up of the power supply that I'm installing in the time lapse. And so basically, the way this works is this plugs in to the GPU. This plugs into any external HDDs or hard drives. And this is where the CPU plugs into the CPU ports on the motherboard. And this plugs into the motherboard itself. And that's how this is all plugged in for wiring.
So today, one of the final parts of my 4090 build is the CPU AIO cooler that just came in. Okay, so we're attaching the CPU cooler now. First boot up of this PC with a CPU cooler in. Now. See. Okay. Can I turn it on now?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
Kumana yung pan.
RGB.
Yeah.
It's working. Look at the 4090. See, even though it's a bunch of different brands, AMD, NVIDIA, MSI, Asus, Corsair, all working together, even though a bunch of different kinds of parts. It took a while to figure out how all the different pieces all fit together, but even though all different pieces of a puzzle were able to make something together, work together to function a brighter future, just like us people. No matter who we are, no matter where we're from, we can all work together. Just like this computer is made up of different brands, us as people, we are all different. Age, ethnicity, race, and so on and so forth. We could all work together for a brighter future.
Josh from the near future here. After I said all that about the PC, turns out there was a motherboard issue that prevented the motherboard from functioning properly, so the PC wouldn't start. Alright, so after a week of figuring out what was wrong with my computer, it was apparently a pin that was damaged in the motherboard, so we had to wait until a new motherboard arrives. And once it finally arrived, we just reinstalled everything in there. And the monitors and everything are working. All we had to do was have like 2 USBs. This USB was for the BIOS, updating the BIOS, because you gotta make sure you update the BIOS so everything will function properly. So a USB, 32GB USB for the BIOS, and another USB with Windows on it. So I bought and installed the Windows and the BIOS on my laptop, and now just plugged it in here, download. After that, everything else was just setting up Windows and downloading the NVIDIA app for drivers, and just downloading a bunch of drivers, and then hook up some Ethernet to be able to download everything. Long Ethernet cable all the way from my living room. But yeah, I just want to show that. Peace.